Hey there, chart friends. Lamont here from JKS, checking in on the solar sector and wind. That wind name, NEE. I think it's still doing nothing, so I just keep forgetting about it. All right, so let's see. I apologize for being gone. I had a bunch of scheduling conflicts. I do apologize. Yesterday's my birthday. I just haven't been around. Sorry about that. I'm here now. I hope you can forgive me. All right, so let's check in on the macro chart for a bit because it's been a little while. So just a quick reminder that the monthly chart really has not pulled back for any kind of meaningful consolidation on tan since 2114, which was like 40% ago. I'm sorry, like 400% ago, 369% ago. Right, so it's been quite a ways since we've had any kind of meaningful consolidation. You can see we're pulling away from the 8 EMA. Even if we were to pull back here, it'd be like a 20% decline just to test it, just to tap it over there. So just something to be mindful of, right? And on the weekly chart, it's very similar. We haven't had any meaningful consolidation since 64.48 here. I don't really consider this sideways much of anything. So 64.48 was our last weekly higher low. You can see how there's very little volume up here. So to fall from here down to 75, I don't think is terribly out of the picture. Obviously, we can make a little pause here at 85 probably and see if we can base there. But my point is we're not building too much support on the way up. And I believe we are in this congestion area as well. Okay, so just something to be mindful of, right? Whenever we shoot up into a congestion area, typically, although very little volume traded here, back here, but when we shoot up into a congestion area, typically we are met with some resistance. So I wouldn't be surprised even if it's just some sideways consolidation here. Okay. Let's see what the last little higher low before there. All right. So that being said, we are still maintaining this channel structure that has really done a good job of offering structure for this entire move, right? This entire bounce can be contained by this daily channel. Okay. This trend line here is just, I don't know, just whatever. I'm just gonna kill this trend line. I don't feel like we need it terribly much right now. So you can see that on the daily chart, we are looking for a daily higher low. Anything over 79.21 will actually be one. So I believe that's the last weekly, like the little rinky dink one. Yeah, that's that little rinky dink weekly higher low. And you can see we've come back to test the channel median line and our 8 EMA. So potentially looking for at least some holding here, right? Let's see if we had hourly oversold today. We haven't even had hourly oversold yet. So honestly, I'm not terribly opposed to looking lower. Honestly, considering how we just didn't really establish anything up here, I wouldn't even hate looking down here. Like that's probably my like preferred highest value play, right? Looking for a channel test, this median line test over here, and let's see what that would look like on the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, it would just be a tab of the 8 EMA, right? So I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. It's more of a longer term swing trade, of course, right? Looking for that daily higher low, but I mean it's about right, right? If you start looking, yeah, let's see. Yeah, I don't hate it like that. Something like that. That's my preferred entry, right? Of course, it can bounce before then. Let's see where the golden might be. It's gonna be right around there, honestly. Yeah. So if you want to be a bit more aggressive, maybe something like this, right? Not anticipating for this highest close level to break, and knowing that you'd have hourly oversold conditions pretty much throughout this entire zone, and that it would be essentially a test of the weekly 8 EMA, right? So you got the channel, weekly 8 EMA, previous highest close there of this consolidation period, and hourly oversold conditions for this play setup. I like this. I like this trade a lot, actually. Just throw that in there to follow up with. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We're looking for that daily higher low. What are bears looking out for? Bears are looking for this potential both bear flag to confirm. All right, so if let's see. Yeah, if the bears are unable to get over the 12 the 8 EMA, say, so to speak, or so, then this flag could potentially confirm. Although I don't love it as a flag already, just given its structure. I suppose you could see it as a pennant, but we've already retraced too much. Honestly, I don't love it as a flag. And actually, you have the potential here to. Oh, actually, no. I'm sorry. I thought that was a pivot there. Let's see with extended hours on. Not really. Anyway, if the bulls are able to see some bounce from here, the bears will be scouting for a lower high. Anything under 103.19 will be one. So quite a bit of space for bears to work with there. And you can see the, oh no, that was the yesterday's close. Never mind. Otherwise, if looking short, I would just be looking to top fish the channel resistance and hourly overbought conditions. That's pretty much it. All right. All right. So JKS, yeah, I drew this out like pre-market, looking to potentially grab a daily higher low on JKS. So you can see that I was working with this channel structure here, and you know, there's the potential of this really to just be a rectangle, right? So what I typically will do is I leave it up, and then because I see a break as a potential negation of this channel. However, if price were to come back down and like test this median line or whatnot, then I would just make my adjustment and include this as data within the channel as well, or maybe even you know, use these lower pivots and draw something like that. So maybe something like this, right? Maybe we had it the wrong look, right? The wrong channel look this whole time. It's possible, right? Because if we were to use this pivot, it still looks pretty good, right? So, you know, we get more information every day and we will adjust accordingly. But for now, I'm just going to see if what happens here, right? Maybe we'll hold a daily higher low here and continue outside to negate this channel. I'm not sure. So, yeah, right now I'm just looking for that daily higher low, and if the bulls are able to show up tomorrow and change the hourly trend, then we'll be looking for a daily lower high as well, with anything under 85.32 being one. Okay, so in the short term, we're just looking for a potential daily higher low to be set for JKS. Alrighty, sun run. All right, don't need that anymore. So sun run obviously didn't get down here. I'm always going to be interested though, because this is where the base was, right? So if we are looking for like a daily pivot here and hourly reversal conditions, I'm always going to be interested in that. This is actually the weekly time frame. Let's check the macro chart right quick. So macro chart really just sideways, potential bull flag. And it's honestly, it's a pretty good look, because we have this basing here, right? Your ideal bull flags will have basing for a long time and then break out of that. It looks pretty good. We haven't even had a real 8 EMA tap here. This zone would be good for a monthly 8 EMA tap. The weekly chart right now is right in the 8 EMA as well. We had these trend lines drawn as a potential pennant, but obviously it's not really playing out. Not really seeing much follow through beyond it. However, we are still holding this previous resistance trend line as potential support, and we paused right on the 21 EMA today. So there is the potential for it to hold, to set a daily higher low with anything over 56.06 being one. I wouldn't be surprised though if it came down here to test, fill up some volume over here, maybe grind it down to fill out this volume. Typically when you have these, you know, sideways consolidation patterns, you get a very standard distribution, or at least close to it. So looking out for that potential to happen, and honestly, you know, who knows, right? It could be more of a pennant like this, right? Who knows? But I will say that if the bulls are able to hold this previous resistance line as support, that'd be a pretty good look. Okay, we are just looking for a daily higher low, so bulls are okay. We're just a little bit of a red flag that we didn't get much follow through over this resistance trend line, so leads me to think that maybe maybe this is the real structure. Okay, and obviously you just can't know that, right? There's no way to know that before this moment. Although I suppose you could say, all right, we can use these pivots here, but even then, it's a bit of a gamble, right? You just don't know. So for now, we're just going to stick with this, see how it goes. If it happens to come back and test, if this line proves to be more like too insignificant, then we'll just make some adjustments. All right, and it kind of looks like a channel, honestly. Let's see, we can use that to offer some support. I rather like this channel that's operating under, right? So yeah, we have this sideways consolidation pattern, but also prices is channeling rather well here. So I don't hate plays off of it. Something like this, right? Looking for that daily higher low, ideally in hourly oversold conditions. Right, and if we were to get down there, I would just anticipate like a median line test, something like that. So I just want to make sure that it would be hourly oversold conditions. Maybe we could be a bit more conservative here, something like that, maybe. All right. So run, looking for that daily higher low. And if that daily higher low does get printed, then we'll just be looking for a lower high. Anything under 74.14 will be one. Okay. All right. Very wrong about that. Obviously, the bulls saw follow through over this zone of resistance here. Now we're potentially backtesting it. So this is a situation where I would now I would now make this channel wider, right, to account for this new data. So there was the potential for this to do what Neo did, right, for it to grind that resistance and then reject from it. That didn't happen, so you take your stop loss, no problem. 2.89% stop loss. Ideally, your position size properly for it as well. And so now that we have very firmly made our way back into this channel, potentially holding that support here, now I would feel comfortable pulling this out and saying, okay, well, maybe the real structure is something more similar to this. And if that is the case, then I just want to look back, make sure everything looks good. We get these median line hits, all right, pretty good, especially this grind area here, the standard deviation hit, and then of course this new level that we pulled out here. It's pretty good. I like it. These median line hits are over here as well, are pretty significant. So we're looking for a daily higher low, and anything over. I don't really love this rinky dink one. I prefer this daily higher low here as the last meaningful higher low at 84.77. And so yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind looking. Let's see where the highest is for this consolidation. It'd really be this level here, so it's rather high up. But anyway, hourly oversold conditions into these levels here, I don't think would be a terrible play. Let's just check to see what the weekly looks like. And that'd be an 80 MA touch, another tap of that. And the same thing, right? Very similar in the sense that these monthly charts really haven't seen much consolidation, so just be mindful of that. But that being said, if we can get hourly oversold into these levels down here, I don't hate that for at least a little bit of a bounce to look for that daily lower high. Anything under, I'm just going to default to this level here. 109.09 will be a daily lower high if the bulls are able to step in tomorrow, defend this channel, and 21 EMA in the daily, change the hourly trend, and then we will be scouting for that potential daily lower high. It would be very bullish if the bulls can maintain this new level here, right? Even if we just go chop about sideways, that'd be good. Put some volume in, get some market agreement. For a price to be above this previous highest close. Oh, actually, there's no highest close here, so nope, it'll be that one. Okay, so if the bulls can maintain this shelf, that'd be good. That'd be ideal. But if we were to get down here in early oversold conditions, I don't hate that either. All right, finally, NEE not doing much of anything. Just kind of more rectangular sideways. More rectangular sideways here for NEE after this wedge breakout. We did briefly lose this channel structure and now have come back into it. So would I extend it? I don't know. Let's see. I guess so. I guess I don't hate it because we have made our way back in, right? So if we zoom into the hourly time frame, this was the previous channel, and now we are essentially not really back in, but we've chopped about it enough that I feel like perhaps this just wasn't wide enough to contain all of the structure. So let's see what that looks like. Based off of, all right, so let's see, if we use these two pivots, you have 3 taps on the support line, so that's pretty good. You have this activity here definitely supports this wedge thesis. It's not perfect, but it looks good. And I don't love it. I don't love it, but it's really just in these rectangular sideways chop zones. So just look to play the range, right? Just like we had the bottom fish plays off the range here, the top fish plays are also on deck here. So if we can get hourly overbought, if the bulls can see some more follow through on this, basically as long as we're chopping about hourly overbought into this zone of resistance and hourly oversold into this zone of support, in my opinion, are valid plays, especially if they're in conjunction with the channel structure, so long as it remains valid. All right, I think that about covers it. Yep, that about covers it. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you all soon.